This is a quick rough and ready review of the Thermion XM50, the new thermal rifle scope from Pulsar, fitted with a 12 micron sensor, 320 resolution and 5.5 mag and 2300 meter detection range. So let's have a quick look at the overview of the actual design of the unit. So here we have a port, a micro USB port for downloading videos and photos direct to your laptop, PC, MacBook, etc. It also charges the unit. You don't have to use it to download videos and photos. You can use Stream Vision if you need to and not even use that connector, but you need to use that to charge the internal battery. Now in this unit there's a 18650, well, similar to 18650, it's an ABS3 cell, so it's 3200 milliamp and that's fixed within the unit. In here you have a replaceable cell, which is the ABS2 or the ABS3. Now this comes supplied with the unit, the ABS2, and it's 2000 milliamp. So the 3200 milliamp one in the unit and the 2000 milliamp one gives you 5200 milliamp, which is the equivalent power of an IBS5 battery. So you can increase that further. If you swap it with the Axion one, which is 3200 milliamp, it gives you 6400 milliamp. So that's all well and good, but to charge the internal unit, this port has to be used, and that is a slight niggle, because if you want to use if you're using the scope on a centerfire or anything that's licensed and you need to put it in a cabinet, it's a bit of a pick to charge, so not ideal. Similar to the 80N range, where you've got a fixed battery source within the unit and you've got no option to replace it. So, but on the other side, this one has got a replaceable battery unit. So the best thing about this is, apart from this port to charge it, what you can do is when you charge the unit, it charges the internal battery first. Once that's completed, it charges the external battery. Both of these power cell levels are shown on the display, and you have an indication for both of them cells as a separate one. So the opposite happens when you're using the unit. This one runs down first and then it goes on the internal battery. So to get around this whole fiasco of leaving the gun out the cabinet, if you want to do that, and connecting the lead, just basically make sure it's fully charged up, make sure this one's charged up. When you use the unit, keep an eye on the iDisplay for the power levels. When this battery runs out, swap it, put another one in. Don't ever use this one, just leave it fully charged, and if you come to a night where you've run out of battery power and you need it, you've got a backup. It's got a 3200 milliamp battery source in there. But just like I say, just use the bigger cell if you want to get the bigger one, and just use that to run you through the night. So what you can do, what you get supplied with the unit, you get a bigger cap as well. So this comes in the packaging, and this allows you to fit the ABS3, which is a larger, like I say, Axion cell, straight in the unit, and that's the one you get with it. So that just pops back on the side. So normal use, you're probably, unless you're downloading video footage, etc., I'm trying to do this one-handed, you will never need to remove that cap. I'm just trying to, it's a lot easier when you're using your right hand instead of a left. Oh. God, man. I just feel it notching. There you go, I just have to push it. So, before we leave that, as in the trail models, these units, when I first initially looked at it, I thought it doesn't have no sound. No big deal, it records. But on looking at this, there is some little gaps. So if you look at the side, let's have a look. Oh yeah, there is the little speaker. So that goes underneath this cover, and this doesn't record sound at the minute, but as in the trail, I think there will be an update to give us sound recording, which I do prefer sound, so that should be coming. That pops on there, a bit better when I've got a bit better grip there. Right, so that's them two. Move along. What have we got here? This is the rear of the unit. So here, this increases the magnification, doubles it every time. Keep it pressed in, activates the pip function. So you've got the magnified box at the top of the screen where it gives you a bit more precision shooting, as well as offering you the wide field of view. Hit the record button, start recording. Keep it pressed in and it stops recording. It should, when you press it once, start recording, which it does, fine. When you press it again, it should pause. It doesn't. So it just keeps recording. So unless you keep your finger in, it stops, and that's the recording stopped. But it should pause like a Helium trail. But I'm sure that's just a slight firmware update. But it records fine. And it also records in MP4 format, which is the best format to use. It's compatible with Apple devices, PCs, just so much better, less hassle. And it also records in 1024 resolution, which should give us better video footage. This one powers on the unit, and it powers on instantly now. It also, press it once while it's on, it calibrates the unit. Press it again, and keep it in for a second, and it'll turn the eye display off. Keep it pressed in for longer, and it'll turn the unit off. Now, going to the rear of here. This is just, you don't need an eye cup on it. Normally for nighttime use, you've got quite a good eye relief. It's got a massive screen on the side. It's pretty good. The screen is incredible. So it's a HD AMOLED display, 1024 pixels versus 640 pixels in the old displays. Everything is crisp, really sharp, defined. Reticles, menu icons, really good. It's a huge improvement. The new display, and what you've got, like I say, you don't need to use it normally, but if you're using it in daylight, this cup is, watch, see, it's sticking, it's magnetic. So what it does, it sucks over the unit, and it's, tell you what, it doesn't have to hold on quite good. So if you're shooting in daylight or where there's glare, this prevents any glare coming to the eye display, and you get a really good image. So that'll come off. See, it holds on quite tight. So that's that. That's that covered. That's them covered. What we'll do, I'll just give you this box view a second while I spin the unit round and give you a view of the other side. So, if I haven't already mentioned, 50mm lens, front focusing ring, and this is the menu function. So it's index and wheel. Press it once, activates the menu. You can cycle through your reticle functions. You can cycle through color palettes, Wi-Fi settings, etc., etc. And the new menu offers to select new reticles. Some of the reticles are brilliant. They've got multiple aim points. Ideal if you're using something with a loopy trajectory like an air gun or rimfire. But even so, there's a multitude of different reticles, and they're all really pin sharp with that new display. Really good. The increment value is now 7mm at 100 meters, so it's the smallest increment value of any of the scopes. And plus, if you zero it with, if you increase the magnification within the menu system when you're zeroing it, it'll half that as well. So yeah, reticles. They've got a red dot reticle, green dot reticle, blue, yellow, red. They're just really pin sharp, and they're really good now. So what's that? That's that covered. Turret's covered. Rear of the unit covered. So 12 micron unit, like I said, 2,300 meter detection range. And how does it compare? When I first looked through it, I looked at 250 meters, and I was blown away by the sharpness. I mean, I compared it against a trail and an Apex model, and at distance, the difference in image clarity, sharpness was immediately obvious. Now, I mean, if you looked at this as 20-30 yards, I'm going to be honest with these, because I can't lie. So you look at 30-40 meters and you think, well, say 20, 30 meters, and you'll think, yeah, it's not that brilliant, but versus an XQ or an XP model. But then again, you look at distance, and it's like, yeah, wow, this is awesome, because it's designed for longer range. You've got the XP model, which gives you 640 resolution, immense resolution, up close. Past 100 yards, the XP just falls away. It's got a big detection range, 1800 meters, but what does that matter? You'll pick up heat sources, but they'll just be dots at distance. So yeah, the XP models are designed, I'm comparing this against 50mm models, by the way, so XP models are designed for running game, up close, big game, suitable mainly for European, US pig, hog shooters, coyote shooters. That's where they're coming. That's the XP models. That's its friggin' stronghold. Come to the XQ model 50s. You go to 200 meters with an XP 50 and XQ 50, and what you'll find is they're both pretty similar. You look at a fox size target, or rather coyote size target, whatever, and you will see that there's no difference. At 200 meters, the XP's benefit has fell off. The XQ then, being a larger native mag, gives you a similar image quality of the target and size as the XP would with a slight digital mag, and you say the benefit of that is you're saving cost if you're shooting longer range, and on the XQ versus the XP, but obviously the XP is better for close and the XQ isn't. So then that takes you to these new models. So with the XQ50 2.7 mag, as someone who shoots in the UK, foxes and stuff, you always seem to think you needed more mag, You see the targets, you see them, you need side-on movement, and you think, right, I want more. Well, this, like I say, under 100 yards sort of thing, the other two models look a little bit better. Past 150 yards, this thing takes over, and it blows them out the water. So yeah, it's only 320, but that big 50mm lens and 12 micron sensor enable a sharper, more detailed image at distance, and the image is much larger without digital mag. So past, like I say, 152, I looked at 250 yards, and I've compared it against an Apex XQ and a Trail XQ50, and the sharpness and image detail was smack straight in your face. You can see this is far better for longer range shooting. So yeah, just the full thing is just a lot better for UK shooters. So I'm going to keep one. I'm putting on my rifle. You see, it's just I'm well impressed with it. This is what we've needed for a long time. When you compare it to the other ones, the trails and stuff, I think a lot of people will ditch the trails and get these now. Some people have said, why is it in this format? Why do you need it? Well, yeah, you don't need it in this, but there's benefits. You've got all this section of the tube where you can pull the eye relief back. You can use an offset mount and bring it back 30mm, costs nothing. You can use dovetail mounts, fit it straight to a dovetail action. No daft massive extension bars, no daft adapter blocks. You can use a weaver mount to a weaver mount, You can do whatever you want with it. It's a tube, you can get any mounts you want, and you can get them cheaper than you can in the other. So you can get that scope right close to your stock, so you've got a good cheek weld. You don't need to have it right up like some people do. So it's more versatile. And this is magnesium, solid metal. Feels like a nice Bill Slicer Swarovski. So no, I'm well impressed with it. So I think anyone in the UK looking to shoot rabbits, foxes, long range, this is what you want. This is it. And the next thing that will come along maybe is eventually the 640 XP with the 12 micron eventually, which will probably be next year. No one's announced anything, but you can just foresee it coming, and that'll probably sit around 3 mag, just slightly over. But again, you're gonna have an incredible image up close. Further out, quite a lot further out, it'll be a massive improvement over the XP and XQ models that are previously out in the trails. But again, at range, with this being 5.5 mag, if you want distance, this is going to still give you a similar image at range as even that model. But if you're shooting under a certain distance, under 200 yards, the new, when it eventually does come out, nothing's been announced. It's still got the 17 micron sensor. That sensor will be brilliant for 100, 200 yards. But you know, this thing's it's got the mag and the detection range to make it a winner. Like, so no, yeah, that's it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some footage when the weather shapes up, and I'm going to upload it and see what people think. This is the box, magnetic. When I think this writing, some sort of foil base. When you look through it with a thermal, it stands out like a sore thumb on the thermal because it's designed to be like that. The boxes are a bit, you know, they fall apart quite easy, just the way they're designed, but they're nice, look fancy. Instruction book that comes with it. I don't know if I've already showed you this. I might have already went over this, but there you go. iCup. Extra battery turret for the longer battery. Double battery dock. You get the charger plug, you get a cable, you get you get the Pulsar packaging with all the different, it's a bit better laid out now because look, you've got the Velcro and you can change all your position of where you want your stuff if you're using it for different things. But no, that's it. You don't get no mounts with the unit, you just get the caps, the extra ABS2 battery pack, and you get, say, the magnetic eye display. What I'll do, I'll go through some of the reticle functions and go over some of them and let you have a good look, see what you think. But no, yeah, definitely the best thermal rifle scope we've had to date.